thrown out, isn't it?
Yes. I have been reading Mother Shobindo.
Perfectibility, from less perfect to more perfect. And the process goes on, unending. I think you understood me?
Yes.
Thank you.
I've been a teacher for 36 years in different countries, and I found out there are only two ways to pass on knowledge. Only two ways. Number one, to encourage. In the word to encourage, you have the Latin root heart. And the next one is to set an example.
Set an example.
To set an example. The way I am, a child can identify. I will identify with the person I like. That's very simple. And it's interesting to note that in Sanskrit, there's no word for to teach, only to help someone to rise in consciousness.
Mother never said that she was setting an example.
Yes.
She was living her life. You really set an example by living your own life.
Yes. And then I want to say something about...
People who really say that they are setting an example, they are bad teachers.
Why?
He can live his life. That will be enough to set a real example. Because children really observe how a teacher really lives his life. He may throw sermons at the students, never leaving anything. Is it not true then?
And I want to say one word about silence.
I wish I could be 10 years younger. Then I could sit amongst you and make a noise about things.
Still with your question, how to know the students. In our school, we have different teachers and we all know differently our students. We connect with an aspect of the students and another teacher will connect with another aspect. But in my experience, what I felt is there is always a way to look at a child and recognizing his sovereignty, his essential sovereignty, recognizing that. And when this is recognized, there is some kind of a connection at a certain genuine level where things can start to happen. Maybe not necessarily in a schoolish way, but when you can forget that the child is just a child, and you are an adult, just connect as a human being to another human being, suddenly it opens possibilities.
Austria is a country where I have really studied in the university about psychotherapy under Viktor Frankl. I can talk to you for hours how that man suffered in the concentration camps, but came out with a brilliance, lost his wife, everybody of his family. Go and see Europe. They have suffered, learned, found a way. We have, in India, most of us who talk and say that they have found a perfect way. They have never suffered. I think for at least non-Indian friends, I am correct. They will understand me better. I can talk to for the whole night about his experiences. Viktor Frankl never knew English. All his books are in German. Presented a whole set of his books to me. He says his way is logotherapy. Logos, you understand? I'm really lucky that I studied under him. Completely changed my attitude towards life. This is a man who has suffered, learned from suffering, giving the best of him to the world. In India, people who talk the most have really not suffered. Most of it, even the Shastras.
I came at the end to the conclusion of all the teaching that it is not possible to be a teacher. You cannot be a teacher. You can be maybe a learning person in your own life, but you never can be a teacher. And the only thing you can do is learn for yourself and progress, and then live as a human being. And anything beyond, any initiative beyond that, somehow always leads to a wrong thing. I think a school building or a classroom cannot be the place for learning. I think only life can be the place for learning. I remember the last exams I had with my last students in Switzerland for the therapy. I sent them out to the forest, and they had 4 things to do, to learn about what is the air, what is the water, what is the earth, and what is the fire. And to learn to play with these 4 elements. And we went for 1 week to the forest, and everybody had to go on his own. And we had a place in the evening where we met at the fire every evening, and all of the students had to report what was their experience with these 4 elements during that day. And after 1 week of experiment these things and reporting them, they finished their school, and then they said, now we are ready to be into the nature. And I feel this is the best thing that you can achieve as a teacher, that the students got the feeling that he is related to the world, to the nature, and that he's able to communicate with the water, with the fire, with the earth, with the air, and can really understand what it means to be alive on this planet.
Thank you.
And we are a kindergarten. As a school, we work with small children, and we would very much like to know how to work with them. We are trying our best to give them some kind of integral education, and we would like to understand what is the essential of this education, that would be the core points. We'd like to know and discover
You have
them
already
together.
started with something and you asked me for advice.
Yes. we are working, we are on the process.
Please tell me what you are doing so that I can learn and go back to my own country.
Yeah. So maybe we can take turns?
No, everyone.
Yes. So we are working, we are trying to develop, help the children develop intuitively, as I said, on the mental, on the vital and on the physical. We try to do that by giving them a lot of freedom to explore themselves, what they are doing, and by helping them to experience things rather than trying to give them all instructions. And yeah. And we try also to have a contextual education where the children learn things while playing without planning exercises for them. So
What is your context?
the context for
Life or toys?
it should be
My
toys.
questions are very unpleasant.
No, I know. For the moment, for the children, toys are their life. So we try to use those and their friends. That is for them right now what it means, everything.
Fine.
So we use that.
And then let us also speak
Please.
any language.
I used to work with the 2.5-year-old children. So that's the first time that they come to the school from their mother. So my aim there was to provide them a safe environment and to feel them that when they come to us, they should feel secure. So, that was my main focus, for them to come familiar with other children, with the teachers, and to feel safe in the place that they are coming.
Who is the most deciding factor in the environment in a kindergarten? Who is the most deciding factor in providing an environment to the children in a kindergarten?
I
am a
think,
teacher. I am a teacher. I am
yes.
testing you.
Yeah. I feel we learn more from them. I think from them only, like,
This is all book language.
No, that's my
You
experience.
yourself,
Because I'm.
you yourself is the most powerful environment. The teacher.
Yes.
I think. Am I wrong?
No.
First, next.
My children, they love to come to us, and we consciously show them the joy of doing everything. The reason we want to keep them in joy and concentrative environment is that the cycle will be the friend. So that's the reason whatever they do is just showing the joy of being with us, joy of being in this world. So that's the main key. And we try to really love, we try to find, to see and do everything holding that love in our best.
You want to show them something.
Not to show, to be, to grow.
I'm not complete. You wanted to show them something. That is what the expression you have used. What do they see in you? So simple a question. Please tell me.
See what I am.
No thinking business, straight.
That's what they see. What I do, what I say,
What do
my
they
actions.
see in you?
They, what the vibrations I'm
An
carrying.
adult or a playmate?
They,
Fine. Are you angry with me?
There is a place which we have created, which we call a room for play of painting. The children come there. We have a table palette with different colors, about 20 colors. There's water and brushes for each color. They come and they take their paper and they put it on the wall, and then they just paint whatever is there that they feel like painting.
I understand.
So basically, it's just a flourish, just a play with colors.
What do you do with the paintings by children?
We just keep them. These paintings, what we do is, our aim is that everything, so that we do not praise anything. We do not say what is this
I didn't
painting
mean
all
that
about.
at all. I do not mean that at all.
We just keep them.
If I were here for 2 weeks,
Yeah,
I can tell many things about the children
through the paintings,
from
of
their
course.
paintings.
Yeah, but our aim is.
That is one thing we have studied for half a semester in my university in
Okay.
Europe.
Okay.
You can discover so much of the child
Yes, yes.
from his careless dealing with the brush, the color he chooses.
But our aim is to be non-judgmental,
There
so
are
that we
books.
can
No, there are-
create a space where the child feels completely
When
safe to
there are
express
books on it,
himself. Yeah, of
you
course.
have it
Yes, yes.
and study them, discuss about them, try to apply them to the Indian conditions. Then you will find so much to help to the children.
I think
I have
just the
cured
work
psychological
itself,
difficulties in the children through the painting.
Yes. Here we don't try to do it, but it just gets done.
There are books, education through art, so many things. Auroville should have those books. Everybody should read them. Then try to apply them in Indian conditions.
We have mixed groups also, where children and adults, they paint together. Yeah? So it's a
For
concept
example,
which
if a
is
child, bed weights, you understand bed weights?
Yes.
रात को पेशाब करता है. I have cured so many of the children through their painting. It's a science. Try to learn that. You will benefit yourself and also the children.
Yes, yes, you can.
And the parents will be very happy. Isn't it? It's a science now,
Yeah, yeah.
knowing children from their paintings.
Actually, I'm working in the creche with the very little ones. I mean, instead of thinking myself as a teacher, I assume that I'm also a child. It's like I play with them. It's like for me, it's like give and take. I learn from them and they learn from me. I'm like a child over there, experiencing with the younger ones still.
Then
At this point of my teaching with the children, I don't have much experience, but the little experience that I have, I am in a dilemma. Because on one side, I want the children to be totally free, and I want them to bring out things from within and have their own learning experience and take the responsibility in their hands. On the other side, I have the need to stimulate them and to give them things to expand and to expose them to more things. And I'm somewhere between these two, and I'm a little lost.
Only dilemma or trilemma? No, I am not lightly speaking.
Yeah.
Well, if you just stop to expect anything from the children, there will be no dilemma. If I am tomorrow, I can show you that. They will find their own way. As long as we go on imposing something, with full honesty, the teachers are very honest, and therefore they are wrong. You understand? Got to very honest teachers, very sincere, serious, but they lose the balance. Always thinking that they are here to give something, not to take anything from it. They are dead as children, isn't it? Now I think, just one sentence. One sentence. I remember that you were here.
Our children, they are very happy to come to us because we are asking them to choose their work, what they want to do. But we are present for them.
But fine. You are very brief but very clear. Isn't it? Very clear. In Tamil Nadu, we had a genius, who is she?
Subbalakshmi.
Wonderful. But single. Subbalakshmi's daughter cannot sing. In Europe, you will never find a single individual singing for himself or herself. It's always a group. Mother has said, only group can save this world. I can show you from her books. She has come so clearly said, not even an avatar can save this world. It is her words, not mine. Only a group. And for at least our Indian sisters and brothers, we do not have any group in India, not even in their family. The children are not free with their parents. The parents are not free with their children. Is it ठीक? Sorry? We have to change it at least in Auroville, isn't it? We cannot change the whole of India, but we can try in our own way from the children for whom we are responsible. That is possible. And who else? Please come forward and speak.
Now I have a 1-year-old daughter, and now I feel having a baby and being a mother, biological mother, I feel now it's completely different, and it's the new way to interact with the children, the same children like I was working for 5-6 years ago, the way I was handling, and now I'm being a mother, and they're coming back to school and working with the children. It's like it's very beautiful and very, I feel it's a much wider to interact with them and to see them and to really connect with them.
Very happy with your daughter.
Huh?
Very happy with your daughter.
Yeah, like she is my teacher.
And try to help your daughter to be happy about you. Agree?
Nahi, bilkul nahi.
Have you heard the name of Khalil Gibran?
Yes.
From Lebanon. I went to Lebanon to see his samadhi in Beirut, Lebanon. He has a line I think we should all remember and put it here in writing. Your children are not your children. I have translated the whole book in my own language. Your children, is it a bad person? Your children are not your children. They come through you. but they do not belong to you. If you know how to do that, the world is really full of happiness and beauty for you. Isn't it? Your children is your children. But still, you do not think that they are your property. I think you do that, therefore it makes you happy. Yeah? And now she will say.
Yes, I have a question. Like while reading Mother and Sri Aurobindo, any book, we should read cover to cover, or we should pick up whatever is requirement, need for myself or something. Which is the way? I mean, which is the correct way? Like, to read.
Correct? How can I say that? The best thing is I can be with you in that situation. Let's make some suggestion, isn't it? I cannot just come from sky and say this is the correct. That is not my first, beginning to end. Then according to as you say. But first you must have a complete idea of what she has said in the book. Then any time you can consult any page of the book. Isn't it? I think that is.
No, I just wanted to say, recently we had a workshop. All the teachers, we sat together and we all sang all the songs in all the languages. Hindi, Tamil, French, English, Sanskrit. So we really had a lot of fun. I mean, because we are always singing with the children, but the first time when we all gathered, we became children.
Let us have songs only.
Yes.
Without knowing that it is Tamil, that is Telugu,
Okay.
that is Sanskrit.
Yes.
Any song, even Spanish.
Yeah, we forgot that.
We shall see.
You are here now.
We shall see. We shall see.
Even some songs we doesn't know which language they are. Just we sing and enjoy.
Please start.
Teaching for me has been a big process of getting to know myself. I got a big inspiration. I had a lack of confidence, and it happened that through teaching I built it up in this experience. So I found out in my experience that the whole concept of teaching is about being happy and finding this light inside of us. With giving this freedom to the children and to ourselves, to be ourselves and to be an example. I found out that teaching is about being the example. That if you want your children to share, you have to share with your neighbors, with your co-workers, with the other people. If you want them to say beautiful words, you should also say beautiful words. So to me, it's just a way of learning myself, learning with the children. Giving them freedom, but again, also being the guide for them. Show sometimes this happiness to me will come giving them the tools, like working with a cognitive development, language development, and language and all kind of development, using all the learning styles, but being myself, being honest with myself, and being the example with character, having character as a teacher.
There is a book by a Russian teacher. To children I give my heart. Have you seen this book? I have again translated it from English to my own language. I think we have already sold 50,000 copies. Please go through that book. Under Stalin, such a teacher could work with immense freedom. Nobody ever came and said, no, you cannot do that. Small children, daily experiences. I think these books will be available. have a good collection of books here so that it can help you. And in India, we are more free, isn't it? Why can't we have more happy time with our children, isn't it? And especially in a place like Auroville, when every bit of the atmosphere is congenial, isn't it? Try to use it, make use of it. Therefore, no difficulties. Difficulties will be there. You start with the things that are possible, then the difficulties will also melt away, isn't it?
Sometimes where you are with children, yeah, and then sometimes like, or let's say with teenagers or something, and then it suddenly becomes something where it's like a thing of control, you know. What does one do at a point like that? It's sort of, it sometimes becomes like a tiny battle where you want them to do something and they don't want to do it, and you know, and somehow it's, otherwise they just while away sometimes the time, you know.
And you should be grateful that for that sometime, because it gives you a chance to examine yourself. I think you got my point.
I'm getting your point, but it's not.
Gradually, it will not happen
It's not
immediately.
real, because it's not that the person is whiling away the time while everyone else is engaged. So I don't have the time. I'm
No,
not
it is
free.
the attitude, you see. It's not how many times, how long. It's an attitude. In that way, all of us are learning from the children we teach, isn't it? You know, the word teach does not have, what is the learning and teaching? Are the two words? They come from the same root, even in Spanish.
But I'd like to know what you did.
You
And then
learn
what
as
did
you
you
are
do?
going on teaching. And you teach every day in a new way because you are learning.
That's true. That's true.
See, things will be more easy if you begin with that attitude. Even when we are discussing problems within ourselves, let this be our attitude. Not posing that somebody knows more, somebody knows less. That is mostly thing we find in India, isn't it?
She is asking, what did you do in that situation?
I know what I shall do. I shall examine myself. I shall begin to be skeptic about myself. Did I give a picture of mine to the children where they thought immediately that he or she is an adult? Did I escape your answer? No.
No.
Thank you. हिंदुस्तान में कहाँ से हैं?
मैं बम्बई से.
पूरा मुंबई.
हाँ.
And only Marathi, no? Marathi or Gujarati?
No, Marathi and Bengali.
Bengali? Bengali?
Also, yeah, I'm half Marathi.
Then you must sing a Rabindra song. I have studied 5 years in Santiniketan.
Okay.
Yeah, this is, that's the proof.
Oh, wonderful. In one of the volumes by the mother, the child asks, Mother, is it unnecessary to meditate? Now, what's her answer? Because meditation is a drill we have been introducing in our all schools, isn't it? It has lost its real meaning. Ma said it is not necessary. Discuss it once among you. Because now what comes the answer? It is more difficult how not to meditate. That means every time we are meditating inside us and outside we are child. Because only we are very much reserved inside, you really are shy to open your mouth. And the great men here today, the secretaries, the presidents, the leaders, they are all pieces of stone. They do not speak themselves out. isn't it? Go on throwing sermons at us. People who have never taken a class with children, give advice about how to tackle with children. India is very famous, worldly gold medalist in this way, in the world. Ayo-yo. You picked up ayo-yo? Grahachara.
We don't know what is the meaning of this song.
But this is not an Indian melody.
No.
I can sing the exact melody in a German song. You cannot deceive me.
But we didn't say we were singing an Indian song.
German melody.